And good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome here to Talladega Superspeedway as we get ready for the running of the last chance qualifier here, the final opportunity for a driver to race their way into this season's Snickers Cup Series chase for the championship. We have a total of 29 drivers here in this field ready to take the green flag at the end of the day. At the end of 19 laps, though, only one of these drivers are going to meet their dream, and they're going to battle it out for the championship here in Season 7, along with the other 13 drivers who have already locked themselves into this season's chase. On the pole position is going to be Jake Cole in the 39. A little interesting that he starts on the pole position here at Talladega. I remember back to, I believe it might have been Season 3 or Season 4. Jake Cole was a 3-time winner, and one of his wins ended up coming here at Talladega Superspeedway. Jake Cole was a former chaser last year as well. He'd love to be able to put that number 39 for Storehouse Racing back into the chase for the second straight season. Alongside of him is Nick Barney. Now, Nick Barney started out really slow this season, but he started picking it up after around Champs-Élysées and those tracks during the second half of the regular season. However, though, due to a dismal first half of the season, it wasn't enough to get him up inside the top 10 in points. Here today, he has to rely on the LCQ to try and get into his first ever career Snickers Cup Series chase. Dylan Poteet, who knows something about coming through when it really matters, he ended up back in, I believe it was Season 4 or Season 5. Actually, I think it was Season 5. He ended up winning the last chance qualifier, what it was then, at Arizona Speedway. He ended up winning that event and making his way into Snickers Cup Series chase. Poteet trying to make the chase here this season after what's just been a horrible Season 7 for him. And Jake Rogers. Jake Rogers, a former winner this season. Rogers ended up winning back, I believe it was at Rockingham, UK. But Rogers, that one win wasn't enough to get him up into wildcard contention. He's going to start off fourth in this field, trying to pick up the victory here and get his way back into the chase. It's been a long time since Jake Rogers has taken part in a Snickers Cup Series chase for the championship. And then rounding out row number 3, why don't we talk about both of them? Kyle Matthews. Now, he was a former winner this season too, back at the Milwaukee Mile, but his finishes weren't good enough to get him up high enough in the standings to be able to clinch the second wildcard spot. So he's in this field, and alongside of him, Daniel Day, who out of everybody in this field has the most limited number of races this season. He came in mid-season replacing Kenny McCrory. Everybody else here, I believe, had taken the green flag to start off the season at Daytona. Daniel Day did not. So could maybe Daniel Day outdo all these other veterans here, all these other drivers who have a lot more experience this season than he does, and make his way into the chase for the championship? You never know. We're going to find out in mere moments. But enough chit-chat, I think it's time to get these cars underway, don't you? Yeah, let's get this going. 19 laps of racing, as I said. And this is going to be certainly a wild one here today. Now, there are a number of drivers who were mathematically eligible to make their way inside the top 10 in points last week at Kansas, and they didn't quite do it. One of them is Sean Galligan, the 44. He was actually in the top 10 when they headed into Kansas, fell out of the top 10 when they came out. And I'm sorry, I see that I did not turn off the ideal racing line. I'll do that when if we have a caution when we go back to our replay or something. I apologize for that, but I was using that for online racing. But anyway, Sean Galligan, as I was saying, he fell outside the top 10 after a poor run last week in Kansas, so he's trying to get some redemption here and get into the chase by winning this event. Megan Atkins was another driver who spent a lot of her time up inside the top 10 in points this season, but she just barely missed out on making the chase, so she's 15th in points. She's going to try and win here, get herself in the chase. As a matter of fact, I'm actually looking in the chase right now, and the team that was coming in, a lot of people were looking at Michael Norman Motorsports, does not have a representative in the chase right now. Michael Norman, Jessica Shelton, Megan Atkins, they've all not made it into the chase yet, and you can bet they're going to definitely try and do something here today. As a matter of fact, remember back to last season at Talladega Superspeedway, if I'm not mistaken, I believe Michael Norman actually went to victory lane in that race. So Michael Norman Motorsports knows how to get around these types of tracks. We'll see what they can do here today. Is another driver that just barely missed out on making the chase this season was Pichu London, a former Mobile Cup Series champion. He's in this field too, and his teammate right there is Jake Cole. We're going to have to see if teammates work together here. We've got Austin LaPlante, Daniel Day, Kyle Matthews who can work together. We got Sean Galligan, Dylan Poteet. They can work together. Mary Cole and Dylan Schwallenberg, Jake Cole and Pichu London. Nick Barney with Levi McIntyre and William Duncan. going to be an interesting one as here we go, getting ready to put him under green for 19 laps of racing. Get ready for a wild one. Anything goes. Who's going to survive at the end of it? Green flag is out. We're underway here. A couple of drivers already stepped out of line, including Charles Jackson and Pichu London, already jumping up to the high side. Don't know if that's strategy or not, as we can't really see those cars via that camera angle due to the packed infield here at Talladega Superspeedway. RVs and campers were filing in all morning. Everybody here waiting for this event. Because, you know, just as important as Truck Series and Moment Cup Series is, the Snickers Cup Series is kind of like the Sprint Cup Series of this of the NNSCRA, and so everybody wants to make this championship chase especially and win this type of championship, as Kyle Matthews immediately goes to the inside, and he looks like he may lead the first lap. A couple of females behind him working together, Jessica Shelton and Mary Cole, and now Mary Cole is going to make it 4 wide. As Kyle Matthews trying to block all 3 lanes of traffic. Looks like he's doing it. Oh, Nick Barney got turned to the wall. Jake Cole's collected. Cole Dowley's involved. Oh, and Joshua Michaels gets spun there along with, it looked like it was James Silverfox. Big wreck taking place back there in turns 1 and 2. 4 drivers have gotten away, at least here. I see Austin LaPlante and Dylan Young back there as well. Levi McIntyre and Daniel Day appear to have gotten through. And looks like maybe Kyle Corbett as well, as these front 4 were ahead of whatever that was that happened. I couldn't tell if they all wrecked at the same time or if it was a wreck and a follow-up wreck. But whatever the case, there were a lot of drivers involved back there. And it involved the front row, Nick Barney, and the pole sitter for this race, Jake Cole. As to the stripe, whoa, who won that? Was it Shelton or Mary Cole? I think it was Shelton. Nope, they're saying it was Mary Cole. I thought it was Shelton by a few inches, but Mary Cole did get the lead there. And look at the smoke and the skid marks there in 1 and 2. Let's try and tally who was involved here. Oh, Michael Norman, one of those drivers we were just talking about who knows how to wait at this track. He's collected. The defending champ, Charles Jackson. This was his last opportunity to go 2 for 2 in winning this season, this series championships in Season 6 and Season 7. Looks like that's gone up in smoke. Oh, Ralph Mason, whose brother Wolfgang just made it into the chase yesterday in Mobile Cup Series. Trent Dunham, he's involved. Dougie Shears, the Season 1 champion, is in it. Schwallenberg, Nick Barney, William Duncan, Megan Atkins, Richard Johnson. Looks like he's going to just barely miss out on the chase for the 2nd straight year. Cole Dowley, who was a chaser last year, he won't be this year. Cody Lamas, James McLeod, Jake Cole, who wasn't involved? That's a question. James Silverfox there, completely crunched up on the Fanta Audi. Was trying to make it 3 Audis in the chase, but he and Ralph Mason collected. Pichu London's got some damage. Levi McIntyre's coming to pit road, so is Daniel Day. Sean Galligan is damaged as well in the Hartley-Pool Chevy. I would say for the most part, maybe 6 or 7 drivers were not involved in this. Everybody else, which is about 23 to 25 drivers, were involved in this wreck on the very first lap of this race. Mary Cole's the leader under caution. Let's look back at a replay of what just happened. And it looks like it's going to be Jake Rogers who makes the initial contact. He just kind of comes up into Nick Barney, gives Barney no room. There's Cole Dowley, nowhere to go. He's collected. Somewhere back in that smoke is James McLeod. And then watch the 9 car of Drew Austin right there. He's going to turn down the racetrack, and I have a feeling he's going to collect a couple more drivers in this. But right now as we're looking, there's Dowley, and then there you see Charles Jackson held up behind the spinning Nick Barney machine. Now, at this point, he actually had gotten through, but then something else is going to happen further up here, which I believe is going to start with the 82 of Joshua Michaels. We'll look back at the Drew Austin thing as well, because I have a feeling he's come down and collect some drivers. Okay, here's what happens here. Sean Galligan went to the apron in order to avoid that first incident. He comes up into Michaels. Michaels has it almost saved, but then he gets clipped by Daniel Day. There's Levi McIntyre collected. Michaels up and into the fence. There's Austin LaPlante. Dylan Young doing a great job getting down to the inside to avoid this. And then this wreck further back, I think, may have started back with Drew Austin coming back down the track. But there you see Michael Norman, James Silverfox collected. We'll look back and see what happens here. Oh my goodness, Cody Lamas was turning James McLeod, who slides straight into Michaels. Schwallenberg nowhere to go. Pichu London had nowhere to go. And is this all that is this it? Okay, oh boy, look back here. Here you got Trent Dunham and William Duncan. I have a feeling this may have to do with that 9 car coming back down. Yep, that's exactly what happened. But actually, wait a minute. When he came back down, he actually fit right between Dylan Young and Richard Johnson. And then, does he either come back up or... Oh, wait a minute. Oh, Trent Dunham ran into the back of the 9. There goes Megan Atkins, Ralph Mason up the track. They're probably going to take a hard lick. We'll look at that in just a minute. There's Dougie Shears collected, though. Oh, look at Trent. Oh, my goodness, up and on his roof. Atkins was airborne as well. Oh, my goodness. And there you see where Michael Norman and James Silverfox get together. Now, I don't know if Silverfox... Oh, there's the contact on the left side of your screen with McLeod into Joshua Michaels. Good heavens. But I don't know if we got to look at a couple more things here. We got to look at the Ralph Mason, Megan Atkins contact. But I also want to then look and see how Michael Norman got collected with James Silverfox. Look at that. Wow. 33 was already on 2 wheels going up the banking. Then they just kind of sandwiched Trent Dunham into the safer barrier. Dunham's car goes up and into the catch fence, riding on the safer barrier on his roof. Atkins' car going to flip over several times there. The Starbucks Chevy out of Michael Norman Motorsports. I'm trying to tally up here just exactly who was involved. And it looks like 2 of the 3 Michael Norman Motorsports cars were collected in this. And I'm trying to make out who else. Oh, man, there is Cole Daly. There were 2 of the Hendrick cars. I believe 2 of the Abraham Mayonnaise racing machines. Both the Red Bull cars. There's one of the Petty Enterprises cars. One of the Tweenix cars. One of the Joe Gibbs cars. One of the MWR cars. 2 of the Kyotech racing machines. There's one of the Tweenix cars of Sean Galligan involved as well. Where's Michael Norman? Alright, there's Norman in the 3. I want to see how he gets collected here. Does he get clipped by Silverfox, or does he come up into Silverfox? Oh. Here's what happens. Silverfox gets into the back of, I think that was Kyle Corbett. And then, oh, looks like a little bit of sheet metal grab there. Michael Norman was trying to get around the 41. And somehow, the both of them just kind of attached to each other. And it just snapped the 3 car around up into the safer barrier. And there you see Schwallenberg there. And then that hit from McLeod into Michaels almost flipped the 82 car over. That was a lot of drivers involved. And there were only about maybe 6 or 7 drivers who got through all of this without any damage whatsoever. This could play out huge. We could only have a handful of cars left to finish out this race, and we're only just barely getting this thing started. But let's find out what the end result's going to be as we head now back to Green Flag Racing, and a lot of drivers involved in this one. Well, we were going to go back to green, but then they just brought to my attention that this wreck didn't end entering turn 2. It was out of turn 2, actually, right there. Richard Johnson continues on after he hits Joshua Michaels. Then you think it's over? No, not by a long shot. William Duncan going to run to the back of Richard Johnson. And then Michael Norman, I was trying to think. He didn't look like he had a whole lot of damage. I didn't know why he was smoking on the back straightaway. There you go, right there. He's going to nail the back of the Richard Johnson machine as well. And that just went all the way from the entrance of turn 1 all the way to the exit of turn number 2. That was one of the biggest and longest wrecks I've seen in a long time here. And with so much on the line, not surprised, but it's a shame that it had to happen so early on in this LCQ. We are getting ready to go back to Green Flag Racing on lap 7 of 19. Take a look at this NNSCRA review. That's the drivers left. There are a total right now of only, I believe, 10 drivers on the racetrack and on the lead lap at the current moment. That means that out of the original 29 that came onto the track, 19 have retired from the race, and we're not even past halfway. This is really one of the biggest wrecks I have seen, and with so much on the line, it's such a gut-wrencher for all those that were involved in it. But these are the lone survivors. Mary Cole is the leader, Jessica Shelton in second, Dylan Poteet third, Kyle Matthews fourth, Austin LaPlante fifth, Dylan Young 6th, Kyle Corbett in 7th, 8th, Pichu London, 9th, Daniel Day, 10th, Levi McIntyre, and Sean Galligan in 11th. So my apologies, I was wrong. 18 drivers are out of the race, 11 cars still continuing. But out of those 11 cars, I believe only 6 of them are fully up to speed. I believe from Kyle Corbett on back, he, London, Daniel Day, Levi McIntyre, and Sean Galligan in some way got some damage from the big one. So is it going to be 6 drivers that are going to finish out this thing that are going to basically battle it out for that one chase spot? If so, it's 1 driver out of JGR, 1 driver out of Michael Norman Motorsports, 1 driver out of Tweenix Racing, 1 driver out of Young Motorsports, or Penske Racing. I should say Penske Racing. It's turning to Young Duncan Motorsports next season, but out of Penske Racing, and then 2 drivers out of Hendrick Motorsports in Kyle Matthews and Austin LaPlante. Right now, the odds are in the favor of the Hendrick boys, because they also have Daniel Day there. If Daniel Day's up to speed, that's a 3rd Hendrick car. Everybody else here that I'm looking for doesn't have a teammate, with the exception of Dylan Poteet having Sean Galligan, but Galligan, I believe, is damaged and may be off the pace once the green flag drops. But here we go. Lap 7 of 19 is when we go back to green. Only 11 drivers out of original 29 ready to try and finish this thing out. If we have another wreck, we could have only maybe 3 or 4 drivers finish this race. You'd think with 11 drivers they're not going to wreck it up, but you never know. As right there, Dylan Poteet, he may be purposely falling to the back to try and see if he can pick up Sean Galligan, his teammate, as a drafting partner. But now when you're somebody like Mary Cole or Jessica Shelton or Dylan Young, what do you do? How do you make alliances here to be able to work with drivers? Because you have no teammates to work with. If Jessica Shelton jumped to the bottom, she had help from Kyle Matthews, but now Kyle Matthews is going to abandon her, go up behind Mary Cole. Now here comes Austin LaPlante to draft with the 29. Dylan Poteet there. Now we know that he and Austin LaPlante had a little bit of tempers flaring back, I believe it was at Charlotte in the Truck Series race. The two of them right now working together, and as soon as I say that, Dylan Poteet's going to stick LaPlante on the outside and go underneath it for 2nd place. Now look at this, 6-car breakaway here at the front of the field. Shelton, Poteet, Young, LaPlante, Matthews, and Mary Cole. These other drivers, as I suspected, they were involved in the big one earlier on here on lap 1, and so they are off the pace. Levi McIntyre there in 7th. London and Corbett battling for 8th place. Daniel Day in 10th, and then Sean Galligan starting to really drop back all by his lonesome, losing the draft in the 11th position. As Dylan Poteet goes to the lead here. Now let's analyze this here. Let's analyze this closely. Every single one of these drivers, with the exception of Mary Cole, since this is the only series she's running in, is in a chase this season. Dylan Poteet is locked into the Truck Series chase. Austin LaPlante is locked into both Trucks and Mobile Cup Series chases. Kyle Matthews is in the Truck Series chase, getting in via a wildcard spot. Jessica Shelton's in the Truck Series chase, and Dylan Young is in the Mobile Cup Series chase. So for any of these drivers here, it would end up being either their 2nd or their 3rd chase that they would make this season. And remember, we talked last week about Austin LaPlante at Kansas during the Snickers Cup Series race. He could be the first or the only driver this season to battle it out for all 3 championships. He wasn't able to close the deal last week. He wasn't able to get inside the top 10 in points or win that event. He's up here in this top 6 with an opportunity still in this last chance qualifier to make it happen. Former Mobile Cup Series champ, actually the defending Mobile Cup Series champion. A couple of weeks ago, he almost completed a weekend sweep at Daytona, but he wasn't able to pick up the Snickers Cup Series win there. He's got an opportunity to go for a chase sweep here in Season 7. Can he pick up the race here at the win here at Talladega? Ironic that both those historical feats that he was trying to match end up having, it comes down here to the Snickers Cup Series race at a restriction plate track, as now Jessica Shelton jumps to the inside of Kyle Matthews. I'm trying to look for alliances here in these top 6, and the only alliance I'm really seeing that has stayed since lap 1 is Mary Cole and Jessica Shelton. The two females have been working together, as now Mary Cole's going to try and go underneath and go for the lead. Austin LaPlante helping her. Right now we have 4 Chevys, 1 Toyota, 1 Ford up here in this front 6. And as I'm looking here in the chase for the championship, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Chevys. As far as Fords are concerned, there actually is no Ford in the chase right now. That's ironic. So Dylan Young, if he could win this race, he'd be the only Ford battling for the championship. As far as Toyota, they've got 2 in the chase. Then, of course, Dodge has 1, 2, 3. And Audi, of course, has the 2 with Noah Hart and Anthony McCrory. So how would it be for Dylan Young to put the only Ford in the chase by winning this event? You know, I look right here and I see Mary Cole being drafted by Dylan Poteet. It makes me think back to Season 5. Those two were teammates for Tweenix Racing. They actually were teammates last season for Tweenix Racing as well, before Mary departed ways and went over to Joe Gibbs Racing. Dylan Poteet and Mary Cole were part of Season 5 when all of the Tweenix Racing machines made the chase for the championship. At that time, it was Dylan Poteet, Sean Henley, James McLeod, and Mary Cole. Mary Cole was a 2-time winner last season as well for Tweenix Racing, even though she didn't make the chase. And Dylan Poteet, I'm trying to remember back to the last time Dylan Poteet won a race. And if I'm not mistaken, I don't believe Dylan Poteet went to Victory Lane last season. I think Poteet, the last time that 78's been to Victory Lane, was Arizona of Season 5. I may be incorrect in that, but that's where I think that's how long it's been since he's won a race. And as we look here through this field, the only one of these drivers that's been to Victory Lane in the previous event this season was running right there, right behind him, Kyle Matthews in the 5. Matthews comes into this race 22nd in the point stands. He had a number of drivers ahead of him in points that had one win as well. Andre Erickson, who got into that wild card spot. Kyle Corbett was also ahead of him in the point stand, so he basically had to win last week or he wasn't going to make it in and would have to rely on this last chance qualifier. But Kyle Matthews, he's already in a chase this season. In his rookie season, he's going to be in the Truck Series chase. And right now, he's trying to get a Hendrick Motorsports machine into the chase for the championship. Actually, right now, as I actually look, there are no Hendrick Motorsports representations in this season's chase. Cole Daly's out of the race. Daniel Day is damaged, and you got Kyle Matthews and Austin LaPlante here, both up in this top 6. So just as we have an opportunity for no Ford to battle it out for the championship, we have an opportunity for no Hendrick Motorsports driver to battle out for the championship. And there have been a lot of times that a Hendrick Motorsports driver in the past few seasons has actually been a big contender for the championship. I think back to Aaron Williams Jr. when he drove the 88 and the 24. Made the chase in those 2 rides. Cole Daly last season in the 88 machine. Right now the top 3 seem pretty content to run single file, and as soon as I say that, now Mary Cole steps out of line. And the top 3 have kind of broken away from the next 3, so what was a 6-car pack has now turned into 2 groups of 3, but I have a feeling with the way that they're racing up here for the lead, that other 3 will move in, and I'm hearing an engine in the distance. Is that Sean Galligan? It is! He's just now in between turns 3 and 4. We may encounter him before this race is over. Right now, top 6 still single file, running nose to tail. When we come around this next time, folks, it's going to be 4 laps remaining in today's event. And right there in your screenshot, you're looking at the 6 drivers that are more than likely going to battle for this last spot in this season's chase for the championship. Right now, Dylan Poteet taking on the Dale Jr. role of the Pied Piper. Now they're going to go 3 wide behind him for the 2nd position. LaPlante with his teammate Kyle Matthews. They're coming up here now. Apparently it's go time for Hendrick Motorsports. Here's an interesting scenario. Dylan Poteet is a teammate to Sean Galligan out of Tweenix Racing. Will Galligan try and play defense for his teammate in the 78 here? They're going to be closing in on him pretty soon. This is going to be very interesting. Can Sean Galligan prove as a barrier, as a pick for his teammate out of Tweenix Racing? Tell you one driver who's not gotten up here and mixed it up at the front lately, and that's Dylan Young. He's been running at the tail end of this pack. He's lying in wait. You watch. That 2 car is going to come to the front in just a few moments. 3 to go here at Talladega. Poteet, Matthews, LaPlante, Cole, Shelton, and Dylan Young. Those 6. One of them is going to get into this season's chase for the championship, but which one? Here they come up on the slower machine of Sean Galligan. Question is, where are they going to encounter him? Hopefully it's not going to be in the turns, because that's not the best place to encounter another driver. Kyle Matthews, though, he used Galligan as a pick. Going underneath of Dylan Poteet, but now he gets held up behind the 44. Poteet going to try and get around the high side. Oh, they're slow here. They're really slow. They're down to 184 miles an hour when they were going up about 195. And now Dylan Pote gets held up by his teammate Galligan. Shelton's held up as well. LaPlante is held up as Matthews and Mary Cole lead 2 to go. They gotta get Piechaw Galligan. Now Dylan Pote sticks his teammate up on the high side, 3 wide there. LaPlante follows through. Jessica Shelton's gotten through. So now the top 6 have gotten by the slower now lap machine of Sean Galligan. Mary Cole now moves by Kyle Matthews for that's for the lead. And looky, I told you, Dylan Young, he's coming. And look at the run, Shelton's getting down the back straightaway. Holy cow, she picked up the tail draft off the 2. Nearly was able to get to the inside there in the 3, and she's got Dylan Pote right behind her. Oh, this is going to get good. This is going to get good. The top 6 are going to sell us out. LaPlante may have lost the draft, I don't know. But we're coming down here to the white flag. 1 lap to go. Mary Cole leads. Right behind her is Kyle Matthews. Where will Matthews make his move? Dylan Pote 3 wide with Dylan Young and Jessica Shelton. That's for 3rd. As now Dylan Young will tuck in behind Dylan Pote. And LaPlante's caught back up. He's all over the back bumper of the Dr. Pepper Ford. Oh, Matthews got to make your move. Here he comes. Here comes Kyle Matthews to the bottom. Does he have drafting help? Yes. Here comes Dylan Pote trying to make it 3 wide, but Matthews throws the block. Here we go. Mary Cole may have just been kicked out of the equation. Matthews to the lead. Pote to 2nd. Shelton in the 3rd. Can Pote get to the inside? Here he comes. He needs drafting help though. Shelton tries to split the middle. Now she pulls to the inside with Pote. It's going to be a drag race. Matthews, Pote. It is. Oh, I think it was Pote. I think it was Pote by a splitter. You have got to be kidding me. Oh my goodness! It all came down to the last lap, the last turn! And Dylan Pote, they're telling me by 9/1000ths of a second, just barely squeezes his way into this season's Snickers Cup Series chase for the championship! Holy cow! And Dylan Pote, I'm telling you, he could not have done that on his own. Tremendous credit has got to go to Jessica Shelton for pushing Dylan Pote across the line there ahead of Kyle Matthews, because if Pote had tried to go there on his own, there's no way he would have gotten enough momentum to have gotten that 5 car at the line. So Pote owes a tremendous debt of gratitude to Jessica Shelton there. And the 78 will join his teammate Sean Henley for Twinix Racing in this season's Snickers Cup Series chase for the championship. We gotta take a moment, go back, look at a replay, because that was one of the greatest Talladega finishes I've seen in a long, long time. And it comes here in a non-points event in LCQ with a chase spot in the Snickers Cup Series on the line. So here they were coming out of turn number 4, as I think I've lost my voice. Pote's going to make the step out of line here. Now, he's already to the inside of Kyle Matthews. You can see at this particular moment, Kyle Matthews has about a half a car length advantage on him on the high side. Now, look right there. Look at Shelton. Look at that move right across the rear bumper of the 78. And it looks like from that point, she was pretty much committed to pushing Pote to the win. She could have maybe gone down to the bottom and tried to make it 3 wide. You see her kind of step out of line there to try and do something, but look at that. That is how close this was. Holy cow. There it is. Wow. Dylan Pote, they're telling me officially it was 9/1000ths of a second that Pote beat Kyle Matthews by. And who would have thought it would be that close for a chase spot? Unbelievable. Wow. Now, I cannot for certain say that Pote wouldn't have gotten Matthews at the line, but Jessica Shelton pushing him there and helping to give him more momentum on the inside line certainly helped out, and what an unbelievable job there. Man, Pote kind of owes Shelton one there. Boy, that was incredible. And there you see Dylan Young, Mary Cole, Austin LaPlante, all players in this win. But when it came down to the final lap, it came down between the 78 and the 5, and that 29 proved to be the difference maker. Well, folks, I think my voice is gone, so I gotta go and get it back because the chase is getting ready to start. Man, what a great weekend this has been. Unbelievable racing, and congrats to all those that got in via the LCQs this weekend. Jake Cole makes his way into the Truck Series chase by winning the LCQ and the Oreo Truck Series LCQ. Wolfgang Mason represents Dodge in the Moblin Cup Series chase for the championship by winning the Moblin Cup Series event here. And Dylan Poteet, for the first time since Season 5, is going to get into the chase for the championship here in the Snickers Cup by 9 1/1000ths of a second. Hope you guys enjoyed this race. Hopefully you enjoyed the finish. I certainly did. Good heavens. If you did, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to become part of the crew today. We'll see you guys next time. I believe our first chase race, if I'm not mistaken, is coming from Atlanta Motor Speedway. So be sure to tune in to that. We will see you guys next time. Here comes your official full finishing results, as only 11 drivers finished this race and only 6 of them were in the hunt for the win after a huge wreck on lap 1. You've been watching a production of the NNSCRA, offline racing at its best. The chase is on here in the NNSCRA.